Welcome to the Forward Marketing Podcast, the podcast that covers internet marketing strategies and leadership tactics to move your business forward. With your host, Joshua Jarvis. Hey, and welcome back to the Forward Marketing Podcast. I am your host, Joshua Jarvis, and today I've got a very exciting episode. But before I do that, let me just ask you a favor. I've been podcasting for over a year and I've not sold you anything. I've not tried to take up your valuable time with any sort of advertisements or requests or sales pitches. And so in exchange, what I'd love for you to do, because I value your time, I'm hoping that you can value my time when I do these podcasts. And so take a moment and pull out your phone and go to either iTunes or wherever you hear this podcast and just go ahead and rate and review it. It would just mean the world to me if we could get that review number up. And I just would really appreciate it. So anyway, back to the show. I am excited about today because I've got 17 landing page growth hacks. Basically, this is your landing page 101 if you've never done it. And if you have, I'm sure you're going to find out some stuff that you did not know about landing pages. And so last week we talked about Pinterest, and I was really blown away. When I looked at the Pinterest, I was like, thinking it was, a bunch of ladies, working on their scrapbooking, and just a snooze fest of a social network for me. I mean, just no offense. But then when I looked at it, I was like, wow, 50% of the people are making buying decisions, and there's all this traffic that could be had. Really exciting. I was right. It is mostly women, but it is an amazing, amazing network. So if you did not get that episode, turn in last week, and we go over 9 tips on how to basically generate traffic off of Pinterest. Previous to that, we went over LinkedIn and the changes that LinkedIn made, as well as what you can do with that. Now, you've got all these different networks. We've covered We've covered Instagram. We've covered LinkedIn. We've covered Facebook. We covered Pinterest. We've got all of these things. Where should you send this traffic to? And all of you are raising your hands saying, I know, it's landing pages. Yes, landing pages. So what's a landing page? Put simply, it's a place that you send your customer to land on to make a sale. That's pretty much it. It's a page where there's not a lot of distraction, and it's only about the sale. It's about getting that person in your sales cycle, sales funnel, and that's what a landing page is. And so you've known it. If you landed on it and there was no other way to click out of it, like it was very hard to get out of it, or it was really big about this one form that you needed to fill out, that is a landing page if you don't have it. So now that we covered what a landing page is, I hope everyone knows what a landing page is. And if you don't, please message me. You can email me at joshua@forwardmarketing.com. I can walk you through what a landing page actually is, show you some examples, even recommend different software for you or different apps, whatever, to implement landing pages. All right. So without further ado, landing pages, the 17 growth hacks that you may not have known that will help you generate business and conquer the world. Yes. Anyway, instead of going off on a tangent, I'm going to jump right in. All right, so landing pages. There's a little study that says that you need 10 or more landing pages. Isn't that cool? So your first tip, your first growth hack is to make 10 plus landing pages. You want to know why? Because you'll get 50% more signups and conversions if you do that. The study is, where did I get this study? I need to write that down. So I'm going to put that in the show notes. I got this study, though. It's really exciting about this stuff. Apparently it's so exciting, I didn't even write down where I heard it from. All right. So in any case, you want 10 or more pages. You're going to get 50% more signups. And so that's tip number 1. So you're going to have different pages. And what are you going to do with those pages is tip number 2. You want each page is going to be 90% unique. The reason is that you want to, tip number 3, target different audiences. All right. So what are these growth hacks? I don't know if they're really growth hacks necessarily, but you need 10 pages. They need to be 90% unique. So basically every page has to be different, and you need to have them target different audiences. Now you may not have 10 different clients. So like a financial planner may have only one type of client. Maybe he only wants to work with people who are 50 to 65, right? So that's one type of client, but maybe it offers different products like insurance and another insurance kind of product like an annuity and financial planning and wealth management. And so you could do different versions of that. Also, you could do it based on their problems, the problems that you solve as a business owner. So let's say you're a real estate agent and you wanted to do a landing page. You could do relocation landing pages based on families, based on singles, based on different demographics, different problems, different products. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. And they need to have, number 4 is they need to have highly different USPs. So your unique selling proposition, your sales pitch on the page needs to be different. And so you could target one type of person 10 different ways and see which one works. But that's the reason, that's the power of creating 10 different landing pages, is that because you've got such a quantity, you start to see which ones are quality, right? So what was really interesting is that with landing pages and using this technique, you don't need a lot of content. When you look at the difference between AAA versus, say, Nationwide, AAA has 72 words on their landing page. Nationwide has 1,800. But when you look at them side by side, there's no question which one you would fill out if you were forced to fill out one of those pages. So there's a little key there. You don't need a lot of content to create these pages, so don't stress out about creating 10 pages. Next, number 5, you want to remove any distracting links, remove the headlines. And when you do that, or the headers, sorry, not headlines, but headers. You want a headline, you don't want a header. And so what that means is, it won't look like your website, but that's okay, because when you do this, when you remove links, you actually increase your click-through rate by 91%. The study said that, hey, if you do this, you will increase your click-through rate by 91%. Is it any wonder that sometimes when you click on a link on a website, it takes you somewhere, and you're like, oh, how do I get back? How do I get back? You can push the back button. So there's no fear there, but you have to fill out the form. So what you want to do is you want to test these minimal landing pages. So I mentioned before the AAA example where there's 72 words. You may want to test it. And one of the things I found was a Propbox was an example that I wanted to use. So you can go to Propbox. But what I was reminded of when I was doing this was a technique by a lot of real estate companies to generate leads. And so real estate landing pages are non-existent for the most part. It's people come to look at listings of their home buyers, and then they get hit with a pop-up. And this one company was running an ad, said, hey, you want an agent? And fill out this form. And it was really ugly. Like, it was butt ugly. Like, it looked like one of my kids made it from HTML. Like the first HTML thing you've ever made. Like, that's what it looked like. It looked awful. And yet they were getting this thing filled out so often, they were able to sell leads. That's actually how I knew about them, because they wanted to sell leads to me. And so test out minimal landing pages with not a lot of information versus the long form content where you make a long sales letter. So test that out and see if that works. Also, in landing pages, you need to know what a real lead is. Sometimes I'll have clients that want leads, and they get a lead where it has a name and an email, but no phone number, or maybe they put the wrong phone number in there. They gave them 555-1212 or something like that, and that's a lead. You've got their email address. If their email address is valid, that's a lead. But sometimes some companies or some business owners think that that's not a lead. Well, if you've got their email and you're able to email them and you know that it's valid, that is as good as gold, in my opinion. I don't need your name. I don't need your phone number. I just need your email. And if the email is legit, I'll take that all day long. And you should too. But know what a real lead is. I mean, I get it. If that metric isn't helpful for you, then make sure that you know what a real lead is. And that is really step number 7, is just understanding what a real lead is on these landing pages. What are you trying to get? Are you trying to get the phone number? Are you trying to get a legitimate person? There's things that you can do. Like, instead of, this isn't in my notes, but like, instead of trying to send them to a MailChimp sign up, you might send them to Calendly so they can schedule an appointment with you, something like that. So step number 8, or tip number 8, is to remember that people read in a F pattern. So think of the letter F, the capital letter F. People read left to right, and then up and down, and then left and right again. All right, so that's how they read, is in an F pattern. So you want to add your call to action buttons on the right in those key spots. So one of the best places to do that is not necessarily talking about the landing page so much, but on your home site, a call to action button that's a different color on the top right hand side of your menu is a great thing to have. In fact, that should be the button to the landing page. You could do something like start here and put it on the top right hand side of your menu. The other place to put it is a little bit further down, and then put it again on the right hand side, or right facing. It could be in the middle, because then it still spells an F. But you'll get an F if you don't have these if you don't take advantage of that F reading pattern. All right, the other thing is you want to repeat yourself twice. Now, what you want to do is make your sales pitch twice on these landing pages. So let's like, so the home page, you could have 2 buttons. It makes absolute sense to have 2 buttons to the landing page from your home page. But on the landing page, you want to make 2 sort of pitches, 2 calls to actions. Just make sure you repeat it twice. You're going to increase your click-through rate and your submission rate. Tip number 9 is or 10, is social proof. That is huge. You want to add testimonies. You want to add other things there. If you get a lot of traffic, there's this really cool plug-in thing that you can put on your website called Proof, and actually shows people purchasing your service or using your service or visiting your website. I would only recommend it if you get a lot of traffic on your website. It only makes sense if you're getting people actually converting. It'll help people convert more because it shows them on there. But if you don't have any traffic, then it's kind of a waste of money to use that, because it's a little expensive tool, and it only shows what's really going on. It's not going to fake it for you. So if you don't have a lot of traffic, then a simple testimonial with a picture and all that is good enough, or a link to your review section. Although I wouldn't want to link out to it. I may just want to copy and paste it into there. So social proof is huge. Number 11 is one of the ahas that I had from doing this study, is that say no to coupons. Coupons are going to kill you. What happens is that if you put a coupon field on your checkout box, for instance, or in your sign up, that people stop what they're doing and they go and Google for your coupons. What a waste of time. Now, so here's a pro tip. The growth hack is to say that basically you've already applied the discount for every purchaser. So let's say you've got a free plus shipping option that you're doing, or maybe on your landing page, it's an option, it's like $49.97. You can give a discount. Now you could do a discount like a real one, or you could just do it as part of the thing, but that is the way to get out of having to do coupons or discounts, is don't put that field on there. Or instead, hey, your coupon has already been applied. You are like, I think it was GoDaddy, one of the places I went to buy domains, they said, you're already getting the best value with this particular coupon. And I was like, oh, great. I don't have to go and search for it anymore. So that's step number 11. 12, if you're not using exit pop-ups, then you're missing out. Some of the best landing pages in the world only convert at 5%. So that means that 95 out of every 100 visitors that come to your site doesn't convert. So when they leave, send them a pop-up. Pop-ups are annoying. I hate them too. But when you do an exit pop-up, you're going to increase your conversion rate. Now, here's some ones that you can use. One is called Hello Bar. If you're a WordPress user, you can use Hello Bar. If you are looking at a theme, you're kind of brand new to it, I like Thrive themes. They have a bunch of options for landing pages in particular. It's a great option if you have to have a website and you don't have you have to have a website with content on it, and you want to have landing pages and other functionality. Thrive is an awesome, like all-in-one sort of tool for just website development. Sumo is another good one. And also, if you want to use something like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels, I think they have that feature as well. So a bunch of different options for you to do exit pop-ups. So it's exit intent pop-ups. So when someone gets ready to leave your site, they start scrolling their mouse over to the browser. It sends them a pop-up, and it could be, your final offer. Hey, why are you leaving? Get $10 off. Or, hey, why are you leaving? Don't forget to take your PDF with you. Give me your email. Something like that. So number 13 is add a bonus, like a PDF. That's a must-have. So it must have real value. So what you want to do is think about the industry you're in and create what's called a freebie giveaway, something like that. And maybe 10 pages on like any industry could come up with this, but like if you're a real estate agent, it could be the 10 things that every buyer needs to know, how to not to get ripped off. The seller, 10 things you need to do to maximize your value. It could be for financial planner, it could be avoid the 7 pitfalls that every retiree goes through. You could do you name an industry. It could be number plus here's the problems that you're going to run into and here's how to solve them. PDF, small ebook. It's got to have a lot of value. It's got to be something that's real. Don't just fake it, but offer that. And you can offer that in your exit pop-up, or you could offer that as part of your first part of your funnel. And let's say you're doing a sales funnel and you want to get someone's email. That could be the first thing you offer to get the email. All right. So number 14 is people prefer 2 separate options versus a combo. All right, so they did a study and they found out that people would more often buy cookies, or the example I'm using is they buy a product A and then buy product B over buying product A and B bundled together. Yeah, it's really interesting. I didn't know this until I did this study, and it's like, oh wow. So the example they gave is that people would rather buy cookies and then muffins rather than cookies and muffins bundled together. So they'd rather spend $10 on cookies and $10 on muffins rather than spending $15 for cookies and muffins. It's bizarre, right? So they'd rather spend $20 than $15 because there's a perception of value in the item being by itself, right? So it's just odd that that's the case. But that is the case. So when you make an offer, separate the offers. Don't bundle the offers together. That's why some of these like sort of sales funnel gurus say, make an offer and then make another offer. I mean, that's why they do that. So it's 15. Now we're gonna look if you have a long form where you need a lot of information for what you're doing. Maybe you're doing a quiz or something like that. You should use a progress bar. Have a long form, break it down into small chunks, and use a progress bar. All right. You really don't want to ask a lot though, because the more you ask, the more you're going to get abandonment on that form. But the way to beat that abandonment is to cut it down to small chunks. You can typically ask people 4 or 5 questions on a survey, for instance, before they'll abandon it if you do that. Now, if you just give them the big 5 questions all up front, a lot of times they'll see that and they'll run for the hills. But once they start committing to making answers in the first 1 or 2, typically they may go and finish it. So that's why you want to separate that. Number 16 is a live chat is a big deal right now, and it is huge, and right now it's expected. So if you've got a site, go ahead and put live chat on it, especially if you've got particularly if you've got someone to manage it, yourself or somebody else in your business. But go ahead and put it. There's a bunch of plugins. There's a lot of options that are free for you to offer live chat to your customers on your website. It just makes total sense. I mean, when you go and purchase something, a lot of times you want that. A lot of times live chat is a great way for support. It keeps it off your support staff, off having to answer phone calls and walk people through the process. Having someone there just to be able to answer those things. The person can manage multiple live chats for support purposes much better than they can if someone calls. So it's a great option for businesses all the way around, but also for sales, especially if they've got a sales question. You should do that. And then the last one, number 17, is actually it's kind of a bonus tip. It's not necessarily, I just wanted to have an odd number. So really you're just getting this because I want an odd number. Not have a lot to do with your landing pages. But you should create a re-engagement landing page. Basically, that's what the tip is about, is that if you have emails that go dormant, that you can do a re-engagement sort of campaign, if you will, and get them to come back to the landing page. So you have a re-engagement. Hey, welcome back. Sort of a welcome back landing page, so to speak. And those have been pretty effective with people that are on your email list that have never done anything. And you're like, okay, I noticed you haven't been on my site in a long time. Here's an offer. So I make an offer in the page, and then they click on that and they go to a landing page. Again, that was designed to re-engage people with your content or with your product or your service or that. So that was 17 different tips on landing pages, different tactics. design that you should be thinking about with landing pages. I apologize. There's a lot of different ideas here, and I think I got a little confused. And part of it, I was like, what was I thinking on this thing? Because the study was just so interesting that you need to have 10 plus pages. I'm just going to go back through them. 10 plus pages. Each of them need to be unique for a unique audience with a unique sales pitch that you can actually put, that they need to be not distracting. That you can be very minimalistic with your approach. Check out Propbox as an example. You need to know what a real lead is as you're doing this process, that people read in an F pattern. And because the F has those two little lines, that's actually for a place for you to repeat your offer twice. You need to have social proof on your landing page with a testimonial. And you need to say no to coupons. No coupon field whatsoever. You need to try to use some way to gather those 95% of the people who aren't going to opt in. You need an exit pop-up. And you need to add a bonus PDF to those people that are leaving. People preferred 2 separate options versus a bundle. That was a big aha for me. And then also use a progress bar if you're going to use a multi-page form or you have a funnel. And you want people to do multiple steps, then you need to have a progress bar. Live chat is expected right now. So if you don't have it, then you're already a little bit behind on the website. And then also re-engage your emails with a call to action on the email that goes to a sort of re-engagement landing page. So those are your 17 tips today for landing pages in your Growth Hack Summer. I am looking forward to next week's episode where we cover more growth hacking tips for you. If you like this episode at all, please rate and review it on iTunes or send me an email at joshua@fordmarketing. That's the number 4, rdmarketing.com. And I look forward to talking to you